Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in 7:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. First Tuesday show we've done in a while. Welcome in, Boom Bust Fantasy Live. Tonight we have got your questions, your dynasty trade questions, your dynasty team reviews, your redraft questions, whatever you've got. We can answer it. We can answer it. We could do it. We could do it. We could answer it. Let's start with a couple of these dynasty trades. We've got some coming in today. We'll take a look at them here. Let's get the first one on the board. If you have questions in the TikTok chat, in the YouTube chat, in the Twitch chat, let me know. Put them in there and we will get to them. First trade coming up. I see you, Walter Wolf Shorts. We'll take a look at that one after this. We've got this trade from Dylan Brown in a 10-team Superflex Start 9. It's a doozy where someone is moving Cam Ward, Bashal Tutin, Khalil Shakir, JJ McCarthy, a 27-second, a 26-second, a 28-third, and bringing in Mahomes and Ken Walker. This is feeling like Mahomes and Ken Walker to me. Mahomes and Ken Walker to me. And I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at it on like value, like, yeah, we've added a ton of picks. At some point, it'll say that it favors the other side. If I have Mahomes and Ken Walker, I don't care about a third. I'm really kind of just crossing off these seconds, crossing off JJ McCarthy and crossing off Khalil Shakir and saying, I guess it's some picks on top and looking at this more. Maybe we'll keep the picks in here and we'll just say, like, I don't really care about Khalil Shakir in a 10-team Start 9. I don't really care about JJ McCarthy. I'm taking the Mahomes side. Taking the Mahomes side on that one. Like those other assets, I just don't really care about them. Dan, are you trading Watson and a late first? Put it in on the site, Dan. We take our dynasty trade questions through the site. Paul Graham, who am I taking third overall if Bijan and Gibbs are gone? Jamar Chase. I would be fine if you took Jamar Chase at 1, Paul. I would be taking Jamar Chase there. If you wanted to take Puka, fine. I like Jamar Chase more. Walter Wolf Shorts got the 6th pick in a 10-man PPR league with 2 flex, Start 8. If Christian McCaffrey is there, I'm for sure doing double hero RB. If not, still unsure what to do. Maybe take Jonathan Taylor or JSN. I don't understand the processing you're using doesn't really track with me, Walter Wolf Shorts. Just rank out the players. If your guy is there at pick 6, wife and kid just got home and dog got in the way. Take him there. But if there's no running backs that you like in the second round, don't go hero RB. Like, this is probably one of the worst things that's happened in fantasy football in the past couple, 5-10 years. This concept of like, we're going to name a draft strategy and go into the draft planning to do this one thing. It makes you feel like you're planning. It makes you feel like you're doing more for your league. It's not anything. We're talking about pick 6 in a 10-man league. So what's that? 15 players. Just rank out 15 players and then take them in that order with your first 2 rounds. Walter Wolf Shorts. Cam XXR3. Who should I pick with pick 8 in a 10-man league? I don't know. CeeDee Lamb. If he's there, I like CeeDee Lamb. Lucas with the follow. Thank you, Lucas. Cam, should I keep Josh Jacobs or trade him because of the allegations? You should always trade your players. You should always be trading your players, Cam. Should you trade him because of the allegations? Depends on what your league mates are willing to offer. You should always be shopping your players, Cam. You should always have a gauge. If you're only in a couple leagues and you want to be playing fantasy football, you should always have a pretty good gauge of what your league mates would give you for your players. Lucas, should I trade Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and Swift for CMC, Jefferson, and Odunze? Is it a dynasty trade? Lucas? Have you already done your draft? I think we are going to pivot to taking our trade questions through our site soon as well with your redraft questions. User 126, do you prefer Love or Hampton in Dynasty? I would have them back, basically coin flip tier. User 126, I generally just try to get players into tiers. So who do I like more? The thing that I would look at, like right now, here's the real answer for you. User 126. Same thing with Chris Kershaw. This is the answer for both. This is the answer for both. Uh, DynastyDataLab.com. I would take a look at something like this. Am I going to downgrade Hampton because of what McDaniel said? No, I would not. I generally just look at something like this. Here's startup ADP for dynasty leagues. So people starting dynasty leagues typically like Jeremiah Love right in line with Omarion Hampton. It's a coin flip there for me then. I don't really worry about which one of those guys I get. They would be tradable in the same way, and we don't know enough to know who's going to be the lead guy. Same thing with the question for Ibuka and Nico Collins. They're right next to each other in rankings. Here's Nico Collins. Here's Ibuka. If you just want the younger guy, go for it. But Nico Collins is probably going to be top 15 for a couple more years. And at that point, that's kind of all we're looking for. Prestigious, why not? Why don't I care what Mike McDaniel said about Omarion Hampton? Because every team uses multiple running backs. Every team uses multiple running backs. He didn't a couple things. In the preseason, what are coaches going to say? They're going to say that their guys are going to get work, or they'll give you an injury update, or they'll say that their guys look good. Coaches almost never say, no, we're not really going to use them. Or no, he stinks. No, they're going to say their players look good, and they're going to say that they're all going to get used. It doesn't mean that they will get used, and it doesn't mean that they'll get a 3-3-3, 30% each split. So what did he say? He said that all three guys will get work. Every team has multiple running backs get work. That's all he's saying. AJ Lopez, I have the 107 St. Brown, the pick. I like that pick there. I don't have any issues with that there. I don't have any issues with that. Andrew, Terry McLaurin going to be horsing around again like always, like being old and getting hurt? Or am I going to be horsing around? And then who did we see? Someone said, can I DM you? Isaac, can I DM you my Dynasty startup team and you could give me advice? You can submit your team for review. We've got a whole site for that. Isaac, we've got a whole site for that. If you have your Dynasty team, we've got our site, boombustfantasy.com. If you just want to submit your team for review for Dynasty, we have that. It's on the team advice page right up here. We're adding in the same thing for your redraft leagues. If you just want to submit your team and get advice, we will have that with ESPN leagues, probably starting early next week. I've got the baseline for ESPN leagues working. We're going to add the rest of that in, clean up some of the submission setup for that. And that'll be there within early next week. So if you wanted to do things like, I just drafted my team, what do you think? You'll be able to submit that. And then we'll add in Yahoo probably within the next week after that. Ninja, is 12th round in a 12-team startup too early to draft DeJon Stribling? No. Ninja, your picks, and if you're in a 12-team league, picks 12, 13, 14 and 15 should be your kicker and defense. Picks 12 and 13, just take your shot. Nothing there really matters that much. Take your shot. If that's the guy you want to take your shot on, go for it. If it's not working, get rid of him. Prestigious, if you have pick 10 to 12, is it a good strategy to double tap running back in the first two rounds, then the wide receiver 3 to 4? It can be, but it can be. But you just got to know what else is going on. But if we're talking about rounds, or if you pick 10 through 12, so that is, you have pick 10, then you go 11, 12, and then 13, 14, just write down 14 names. If the way that it lines up when you get through those 14 names means you get 2 running backs, great, fine. But just write down 14 names and rank them, and then just take the highest ranked one when your pick comes. You don't need to overthink it. You don't need to overthink it like that. Let's take a look at a couple of the Dynasty trades on the site. If you guys have Dynasty trade questions, submit them on the site. Ninja saying it's a dynasty league and there's no kickers and no defense. Oh, a 12-team dynasty startup to take Deshaun Stribling? No, I don't think that's bad either. I don't think that's terrible either. We got one from Dylan Brown. We got a bunch from Dylan Brown, so let's knock some of these out. I think we looked at this one, or if this is a different... No, yeah, we looked at that one. Let's take a look at this one from JJ Edwards, and then we got a couple from Dylan Brown's. H just came back. Did you review Dynasty trades yet? We're looking at them right now. H. JJ Edwards, the Dynasty Goons, asks, James Cook and a mid-second, or Chris Olave and Matthew Golden? I think I'm taking Olave and Golden here. If you want, but I'm going to call this one like even. If we just need the positional swap, like here, I'm looking at your roster. You have James Cook. Would I then move James Cook for, who was it? Olave and Golden? I don't know that you really even need the positional change here, JJ Edwards. If you just want to move this a second round pick to bring in Golden on the upside, sure. I think this is fine. I'm going to mark this one as even because I think this is fine going both ways. A second round pick for Golden is a pretty good price, or is a very low price. But then James Cook probably clears Olave. Like you would probably want something more on top of Olave, but across the 2 for 2, I think it works out. Let's take a look at, let's clear out the ones that we have from the Dylan Brown. Patrick Mahomes, the 101, and Nico Collins, or this, I feel like this one got entered wrong. I think we're going to go through these pretty quick because we got a bunch of these from Dylan Brown. This is not close. Mahomes, Nico Collins, and the 101, or 3 firsts and Bashal Tutin. We're kind of looking at, if we're looking at a 26 mid first, I'm not sure exactly which pick it is. 27 Easton, yes, we will. A 27, like this is by far the Mahomes side. A lot of these are just Mahomes trades for the Dylan Brown. So we'll look at them and we'll talk through them. There's a tokenized system, so people can ask as many questions as they want with the tokens that they have. Here's a closer one. The 101, Nico Collins and Mahomes, or Cam Ward, George Pickens, the 106, and a 27 first. This is another one where I don't think you're getting nearly enough for... Okay, here's one where, so he's, in all of these trades, it looks like he's just trying to acquire Mahomes and the 101. Would I say, I would still take the Mahomes side here. So the Dylan Brown, if you're trying to acquire Mahomes, this is the closest one that we've seen so far, but I don't expect that anyone's taking any of these deals. We got 2 more, and then we'll get to Swavies, and then we will check in with everything on the chat. Here's a bigger deal. Like this is one where we're adding in JJ McCarthy. I think this is similar. No, this is Mahomes, the 201 and the 101. And in this deal, like it's even. George Pickens, the 106. I mean, it's like Pickens and McCarthy gets you around Mahomes. And then the 106, a first and a first for the 101 and 201. That's about even. This is the most even one that has come through, Dylan. Maybe we'll have another more even one. Maybe. Dylan Brown, last one. And we got one more right after this in Dynasty Trades. Pick 101 and the 103, or excuse me, 101 and the 301, or the 106, a first and a second in a 10-team superflex. So we're looking at like, what's up, Dexter? So we're looking at like Jeremiah Love for Jadarian Price, a first and a second, and then the third. I don't know that very many people are going to be doing that. I think most people are sticking with Jordan Love or Jeremiah Love there. Okay, Swavey, who had asked, this was H in the TikTok chat. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Trevion Henderson, Jalen Waddle, and a 28 first. This is someone sending away Amon-Ra St. Brown. H, is there a reason we're trying to to send away Amon-Ra? This is like close to enough. Typically what I'll do, I think is this one you had submitted with Henderson, with just Henderson and Waddle, and we said wasn't enough? I think so. And then you get, what is it, a 28 first on there? If we're trying to tear this down, H, you need running back depth. You have Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery. I don't think you need running back depth. If you wanted running back, I mean, here's what I'll say. Like, yes, you could do this. Should you do this because this team needs running back depth? No. I don't think so. Trade like Alec Pierce for something, for a running back. I would look at something like that, moving Alec Pierce and Matthew Golden to get a running back. Does this get you running back depth? I guess. Does your team need it? Not really. Is it a horrible move of Amon-Ra St. Brown? It's not a great one. I'd say if that's the notes on the trade, don't. Like send a second round pick for DeAndre Swift or something like that. If you're looking for running back depth. We've cleared those out. If you guys have dynasty trade questions, you can put them in on our site. We'll get them up on your screen like that. And very soon we'll have your redraft trades showing up very similarly. Let's take a look at a couple questions here. Levi Coffee, I made a trade, Lamb and Cook for Bijan. For Bijan and Ladd? Is this a... See, it's probably Bijan and Ladd. I'm not sure if it's a dynasty trade. Levi Coffee. We take our dynasty trades on the site. I'm not sure if it is. If you guys have redraft trades, just mark them as redraft and we'll cover them. Ashton Genty or Hampton. Genty. But it's pretty coin flip tier. Like they're in the same tier. I might end up taking Genty before I take Hampton there. Josh from Noof, first season as the commissioner. Hope it brings luck my way. It'll bring work your way. It'll bring your work your way. Brendan, 12-team league. Would I keep Hampton second, Saquon second, or Swift sixth? Keeping Chase Brown in the ninth? I guess Hampton in the second. If it means that you're more likely to be able to keep them again next year in the second compared to Saquon. Jay Thompson, redraft half PPR, take Christian McCaffrey, Amon-Ra, or JSN, or anyone else. If you're not worried about Christian McCaffrey, take him. I think in that spot I would end up taking Amon-Ra or JSN, but I don't think it's insane. And at that point, like that's all, you're all in the right spot. Your mind's in the right spot. Evan, Christian McCaffrey opinion. I mean, he was very, very good last year. He was very, very good last year. I'm pulling up stats for him. Let's get a gauge of like, where did he actually finish in terms of scoring? He's top 5, right? I just don't want to speak out of turn. Christian McCaffrey last year was running back 1. Does it mean that he's going to repeat at running back 1? 715 collectibles. If you have a dynasty trade, put it on the site. Does that mean he's going to repeat as running back 1? He's getting up there, 30 years old. Is there a chance that he's injured again? There's always a chance that he's injured again. But when he's been playing, he's been running back 1, running back 1, running back 2, running back 1, running back 2, and as a rookie, running back 10. Until we see it end, I wouldn't think anyone was crazy if they took McCaffrey top 5 or at pick 6. I typically, if I'm looking at like, hey, what's the downside for a player? If I take Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think it's very likely he's a top 5 wide receiver, and it would take a lot for him not to be. I've seen Christian McCaffrey like miss a lot of time, and he's getting older. So it's just a slight risk that this could be clear signs of the end. So in my first round, I generally just let someone else take him. Who should I take at pick 10 in a 10-man? I don't know. CeeDee Lamb is usually there. Justin Jefferson's there a lot. I like both of those guys. Dex, I'm going to spend all my orbs on feeding Goose. We don't have snacks for... If you guys are on the Twitch chat, some of the channel redemptions are more for when we're gaming compared to at night when the snack bowl for my dog is empty. We normally have a snack bowl to give snacks to my dog, but it's empty right now because we did that earlier. Ali Basie, Bowers or Nico Collins in the third round, 2 flex PPR. Bowers. I would take Bowers before Nico Collins, but they're very close. I like Nico Collins right in that range. CZL14 redraft Cook, Achane, or Justin Jefferson at 109. It's really only between James Cook and Justin Jefferson for me there. If you feel like you're going to have a really easy time finding wide receiver value, then go James Cook. I would be right in that range. And if I did 10 drafts, I would probably go half and half, Cook and Jefferson. And when you get to that situation, it's okay to call it a coin flip tier and say, like, we don't know. I'd spend more time looking at who are the running backs I can get later in drafts, as well as who are the wide receivers I can get later in drafts, and build out plans like that. Because picking Justin Jefferson or James Cook is not actually going to change your fantasy season in a way that we can predict. So we shouldn't actually spend that much time worried about that pick at pick 9. Think about round 5, round 6, round 7. Spend more time focusing on that. Evan, Jackson, CMC, Cook, Nico, London, and Kraft. What is it? Yep. Giards 19. How are you? How are you? Welcome back. Dan on here too? Dan, you're on the TikTok too? You're on the TikTok too? Rate the team? That's not the team though, Evan. Here's something I'll say probably 100 times from now, at least 100 times from now until the start of the season. That's not your team, Evan. That's not your team. I'm seeing what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. We got to see like round 7, round 8, round 9, round 10. That's where we're going to find guys. And that's where your strategy is. So when people are saying like, who do I take at pick 9? It doesn't matter nearly as much as what you do the rest of the way. Do I like Allen early 2-3 turn in a 10-team PPR? Not a ton. I like him like more late round 3. I don't know that I'm going to get Josh Allen there. And I rarely do end up drafting Josh Allen. APR key, especially in a 10-team league, it's so easy to find middle of the pack quarterback production for free. So I would rather have the wide receiver or the running back there, because most of what I do after my draft is start taking all of my players and trying to find trades where I'm combining them and moving up in value. I guess you could be there with Josh Allen, but I'm trying to take like that 2nd round pick and add something to it to get 1st round pick value. And you can't really do that as much with Josh Allen. So I like that extra flexibility where I can take players at who I drafted the 2-3 turn and put them into deals to get 1st round pick values back. APK, so you like the wide receiver, running back, tight end method with the 101? I wouldn't say that. I've got a video, APR key, of what I do for draft strategy. It's never a 3-position plan like that. I would take tight end earlier, and I would not take quarterback earlier. And we go over all of that in the video. We'll throw that one. I'll put that one on the screen. But you shouldn't. It's become very big recently to plan out like, this is what I want to take first. I want to go running back, then wide receiver, then whatever. And you really just should not be. Especially in your first 3 rounds. If you're in a 10-team league and you can't write out 30 players that you like and then just take the guys in that order, I don't know that you're really I don't want to reach that far to hit a set strategy. Gerard, so I like guillotine leagues? I don't. Now I'm just only buzzkills. Do I like a guillotine league? Not really. I tried to do more things in my league to get people committed to playing for the year. Like if you, in a lot of home leagues, people have trouble getting people to trade or get people to like respond to messages or commit to playing the full year. And that's normal. Like that's normal in a home league. I don't want to do anything to give a person a reason not to keep playing. I don't know that a guillotine league is actually going to keep people more engaged because they're worried about getting eliminated, when a lot of people, by the time they get to November, are going to forget to set a lineup. You're going to find that in a lot of leagues where people forget to set a lineup by the time they get to November. I want to do more to keep people engaged rather than boot people from my league. This is what we were trying to pull up. If you are looking for like what I do in a draft, it's right here. Best draft strats as a video there. It covers a lot of that. Like I'm basically never going into my draft saying I want running back, then wide receiver, then this, or wide receiver, then running back, or 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds. I don't think that's a great plan. I typically just try to come up. I let other people reach to make their strategies fit for them, and then just end up coming out ahead on value there, knowing that in rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I know where I can get wide receivers. I know where I can get running backs. So we've got the general draft strategy video here, and then the follow-up running back video where we just go through round by round and say, in each round, here are the running backs that I'm targeting. And then at the end of this video, we go through, like, if I went wide receiver, what running backs would I target in each round to make up for it? Because that's usually what I'm doing. I don't have a set plan of like, I got to go running back, wide receiver, tight end, or running back, wide receiver. Because you're just going to end up reaching and losing value. I'd rather just know that I can get these guys in the 6th round, 7th round, 8th round, and come up with other plans. So we'll have the running back is out there, and then we'll have the wide receiver video next week. Scoob, Jack thinks that pick 7 is best. Did someone ask if I have a favorite pick spot? I don't. Chase, if I have an ESPN team, can you still look at the team? Almost. Let's take a look. Almost. I don't know why I'm showing this. I'm just excited that we're getting there. Yeah, we'll put it on the screen. Chase. It's on the screen right now. I guess I had it on the screen this whole time. We added this in. Here's the demo version where we have your sleeper leagues, your dynasty leagues. We're adding in your ESPN leagues set right here. That'll be coming out and shortly done with, that should be wrapping up and usable for people starting probably early next week. And then Yahoo will be coming through very shortly after. So if you just want to submit your team and have us pull up your team and talk about your team, that is something that will be available through the site. This is an ESPN league. We've added that in. Up until now, if you've been watching us for the past couple months, it's just been sleeper dynasty leagues. As you can see, like this isn't loading because we need to fix that. That's why it's not available. It says local host up here because it's not live on the site. But this will be live within the next week. If you're looking for announcements about that, make sure you're in our Discord. If you're on TikTok, you can type ! Or if you're on TikTok, you can't type anything in the chat. They don't have chat bots. If you're on TikTok, you can go to tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. If you're on YouTube and Twitch, you can just type ! Discord and it'll put the link in the chat. Isaac, do I think Jeremiah Love will live up to the hype? I mean, the hype right now is like early 3rd round, late 2nd round. That hype? Sure. Do I think he'll be the next Ezekiel Elliott as a rookie? He's like top 5 right away, or Saquon, where he's like top 5 right away. I think that's less likely than those guys. But in terms of a career, yeah. I think so. DB trades CD Lamb for Jettas in standard PPR. Like, okay. That one feels like they're the same guy. Why do it? Why do it? Would I trade CD Lamb for Justin Jefferson or Justin Jefferson for CD Lamb? I guess. But they're like interchangeable to me. Like, do you want Bijan or Gibbs? Who knows? Who cares? Giards, this was the question. What do you think of drafting and projecting based on Vegas lines? I think it's pretty good. I think Vegas is very good at setting lines for the season. It's going to get you into similar. I think you should be looking at Vegas lines when you're looking at your drafts and comparing that to values, and then consider that it's still not going to get you to 100% hit rate. Like, you're still going to miss on players, or players are still going to get injured. So yeah, do it. There are a lot of people making the lines in Vegas who are very good at projecting things. So I definitely like it. Scoob, what do you think of spamming the same question? We could just time people out. And Scoob, a lot of the questions will eventually go through the site. Like, trade questions will go through the site. I don't know that start sits will, but we'll have start sits as well. We'll come up with some plans. Caleb, do you think Dobbins in the 109 for Dynasty? Do I think Dobbins in the 109 in Dynasty for Waddle is a good trade? We do our Dynasty trades through the site. Through our site, boombustfantasy.com. That's on the screen. I was going to be being facetious. Speaking of, we've got some Dynasty trade questions. Here we go. T-Sag 54. So who was that? Caleb, if you've got a trade, submit it on here, because that's how we get this. Like, do I think Dobbins in the 109 in Dynasty for Waddle is a good trade? This is an 8-team start 9 league. Do I think your trade is good in an 8-team start 9 league? Are you in an 8-team start 9 league? I have no idea. That's why we have the site, because it'll pull your league settings. Here we go. Someone is trading away Christian McCaffrey for a first-round pick and Bucky Irving. I would take the pick and Bucky. Now, the league settings here do matter. They do change the values here because it's 8-team. We're not starting very many people. All of the value of players like DeAndre Swift or Tony Pollard kind of just goes away in a league like this. Those guys don't have nearly as much value because this is a shallower league compared to any other dynasty league you might be in. That's not a bad thing about the league, but it does affect values. So I think this is closer than you might think. But if I'm trading away Christian McCaffrey in a league like this, I don't know that you're getting much more. We've also got King Neal, the Red Zone Cosa Nostra. I don't know what that means. 12-team Superflex start 10. Malik Neighbors from Mekhi Lemon and Bashal Tutin. This feels like we're selling low on Neighbors. Like, this is where we're getting to the low point of where Malik Neighbors' value is. And we're saying, I want to get out at the low point. Jason Smith is saying Neighbors by a mile, which I'm glad to see in the chat, because I'm in the middle of a long version of saying I'm sticking with Neighbors here. This is the team that does not have Neighbors. So King Neal is sending Mekhi Lemon. They also said you could swap out Lemon for a 27 first. So either one. I like Mekhi Lemon more than a 27 first. And you'd be getting Malik. Yeah, I'd be fine sending a 27 first and Tutin for Malik. I like Mekhi Lemon more than Tutin, or than a first. It's kind of a weird year where people have decided that these top 3 wide receiver prospects aren't always worth a future first. I'm not sure I agree with that concept. I think some of that is just people don't like the 26 draft class, which is fine for guys like Jonah Coleman, who kind of sucks. But for Mekhi Lemon, he's very good. I don't think he's the reason the draft class is like okay and not and terrible. So I would take Malik Neighbors here. Hydra, Pootie Tang, how are you? I see a Moopy. Not even a crazy take, Jason. Is there a different Jason? Oh, Jason saying add a 27 first and you still might take Neighbors. Possibly. Yeah, Evan, let me know if that Discord link doesn't work for you on YouTube. It should work. Otherwise, I'll just update it. Jason Smith, the first in Tootin gets laughed at. I don't know. Some people are just out. Did I not cleared the overlay? Didn't I finish this one? There we go. Site refreshed. Silky Bosnian, would it be bad to go Christian McCaffrey at 104? I can't tell you that it's bad. I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, I'm having multiple trains of thought right now. So one, can I tell you that it is bad to take Christian McCaffrey at 104? No, of course not. I can't tell you it's bad. Would I take Puka there? Sure. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be right. That doesn't mean I'll be right. The fun of fantasy is we don't know what's going to happen. He was running back 1 last year. People think Bijan and Gibbs will now like overtake him. Maybe that means McCaffrey takes a step back. But at this point, like you're in the range of where it's safe to take him. Is it bad to do that? I don't think so. There's a lot of spots I think more people playing fantasy should just understand that, like same question here, Isaac Gillum, Jamar Chase over Puka. I would take Jamar Chase over Puka, but not by much. And it is okay in fantasy football to say these guys are in the same tier, or like you're shooting in the right tier. I don't want to take Hampton at 104, but I would take McCaffrey at 104. I wouldn't take Nico Collins ahead of Puka, but I would take Jamar Chase ahead of Puka. Those guys are in the right, as long as you're in the right ballpark. You just got to get guys into roughly the right tier, or get them into the right tiers. And then whichever one you're taking within there, we don't know enough at this point to say whether you're right or wrong, or that you made a good or bad decision. So Jamar Chase over Puka? Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people think. And there are a lot of people that think Puka over Jamar Chase. But it's not worth arguing like, oh man, you got that thing right or that thing wrong in fantasy. And more of fantasy football is about what you do later in the season and what you do after your draft anyway. That like, I'll answer the questions, but I want you to win. Don't worry about that stuff nearly as much. Okay, full PPR. Is this a dynasty one, Kohler? We're going to get the trades sorted out. Wilson or Olave or Ibuka. If it's just PPR for this year, Olave, Ibuka, then Wilson. But those are all kind of falling into the same tier too. 9th pick, 12-man PPR. Who do I take? If CeeDee Lamb is there, I'm taking him. Oh, Kohler. Those are just guys that you keep. And do I have to, you keep 2 every year? Or am I picking one of those or 2? I think I gave them in order. Dan, how do you keep engagement in redraft season long? Just gotta have the right people. I extend our trade deadline. I keep the right people. I let more people into the playoffs is generally how I do it. If I'm in a 12-team league, 6 people should make the playoffs. If I'm in a 10-team league, I usually have 6 teams make the playoffs. And then I open up playoff spots to the highest scoring non-playoff teams. So top 4 records get in, and then 5 and 6 are the most points scored. So if you feel like it helps mitigate the teams that scored the 3rd most points in a week, but lost to the 1st most points because they still scored those points. They have a chance of making the playoffs there. You just want more people feeling like they can get to the point or get to the playoffs. Blanquito, how are you? How are you, Blanquito? And then some of that's just people, making sure you have people that want to play fantasy year round. I don't have a toilet bowl pot. I definitely don't do punishments. I can go more on that. I don't know how many people play fantasy with punishments, but I don't. Like, I don't know if that's even something I should make a video on. I don't think people do it that much. Ooh, what is his name? Smiley face. I have CMC, Bijan, Jordan Love, Tet, Ladd. Is that a good 12-man team? I don't know that Jordan Love is that good. Is this Jeremiah Love? I don't know. If I'm in a 12-team league, I don't think I want Jordan Love as my main quarterback. He's like the most replacement tier quarterback over the past couple of years. Kohler Rhodes, pick one. We do redraft, but keep two, trying to figure out what wide receiver to take. Don't want to let Ibuka get away with. You can always draft the one that you don't keep. Or there's a wide receiver in that range to keep. I mean, of those three, I'd say like Garrett Wilson's the one that feels like if the Jets aren't good again, could be a problem. But that's about what I think. Moopy, Genty, Achan, Josh Allen. Which of these am I keeping? Genty, Achan, Josh Allen, Olave, DJ Moore. Those top three. Genty, Achan, Olave, or Genty, Achan, Allen. I would keep Josh Allen ahead of any of those guys if there's no penalty. There's no penalty to keep him. How do we do? Could we do viewer mock drafts on ESPN? I'm looking at this right now. If I click fantasy, if I hit create league, can I get people to join? Won't draft this. The fourth is all, says Moopy. I don't know what that means, Moopy. Won't draft this till the 4th. The 4th of September? Let's take a look. If I'm trying to test out our integration with ESPN leagues. Can I just do create a league? Create a league. I'm going to try something. We'll see if we can get a user mock draft going. Copy invite link. Okay. If you guys want to do a mock draft, we can get this on the screen. I think we can get 12 people in right now if people want to do one. We'll open it up in our Discord. I'm going to put in a new channel called Mock Drafts. Create channel. Let's see how this goes. Posted a link if people want to do a 12-team mock draft right now. It's just listed as a real league. We're just not going to play it out. We'll run the draft. There's a link in the Discord. We'll see if people want to jump in. If people are looking to do a mock draft, we're on there. The Discord link is in a Rock Herald. There should be a Discord link in the bio. There's a tiny URL that'll get you there. Let me check and double check that it's in the... Yeah, it's in there. Discord, tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. This is not queued up as a mock draft. I do just need a team to use for 2026 to test out the site. So if people want to jump in and do a mock draft right now with viewers, we can. I know Easton asked about that. We'll take a look. User 182, is Cook, Chase Brown, Neighbors, and Ladd a good core? User 182, there's no good or bad cores. What are we looking at? Cook, Chase Brown, Neighbors, and Ladd? Yeah, it's a good core. But there's no good or bad top four. I mean, most of the time your top four picks are good, is the way to say this. Most people don't make a big mistake in their top four picks that costs them their league. We don't know. Usually there's no one out here. There's no one worth listening to that's going to tell you that it's not, is the better way to say that. All right, we got Adrian's in here. Adrian, look in here. We'll do a mock draft with users right now. Let's put a text on the screen. And actually, let's get this. Let's put it on the board. Let's put this on the board. How do I do this? How do I do this? I could do this. Can we just do... We could do this. Go here, 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 here. There's not a login to access this page. Please log in. Let's see about doing a mock draft right now. We'll go for another 45 minutes. Deuces Wild, my buddy's trying to convince me not to take Hampton because of what came out today with Mitchell and Vidal. I mean, you're nailing it. It's Mitchell and Vidal. I don't really... Yeah, they'll get work. But I don't care. They're not going to get a lot of work, is the way to say it, Deuces. I don't think they're going to get a noticeable amount of work that you really need to worry about it. Chase, I'm looking to trade Jalen Warren and one of Luther Burden and Marvin Harrison for a better flex. Who can I get? Chase, that'll be there on the site next week. Take a look at this. Here, actually, we have this right now. We have the, whoa. I said one thing that was right. I meant I have this right now that I can show you. We've got our trade builder. This will be launching next week for your redraft leagues, for ESPN leagues, and then shortly after for Yahoo. Chase is what we have. You're looking to trade Jalen Warren and one of Luther Burden and Marvin Harrison for a better flex. We've got this tool right here. This will work for your redraft leagues. Your question is, who can I get? We've got it. We got this question hundreds of times every day last year. So now we have it built. If I wanted to take from my team Trevion Henderson and Roma Dunze, and I wanted to trade for one player for a better flex, there's still some bugs on here, but if I just want one player back, here's the targets you can get. Chris Olave. We're in a super flex league, which is why Tyler Shuck would be on here. But Chris Olave, Devonta Smith fits trade values. It pulls real trade values based on the league scoring for the league that you sync. I've synced an ESPN league that is a 2-quarterback league. That's why Tyler Shuck gets thrown up into this range. But that is what we're doing, Chase. So make sure you join the Discord. That's where we will announce it when it is launched. We'll also announce it on TikTok, but just following on TikTok doesn't mean that you see every video I post. So if you want to know when this is available, that's where you go. That's where you go. Dubs21 says the next Matthew Berry. That just means I'm old. I feel like that just means I'm old. Thank you. Thank you. But I think it just means I'm getting old from an old man like Matthew Berry. Discord isn't letting you in, says link expired. Then we'll have to fix that. Then I'll have to fix the Discord link. Can I do that? I could do that right now. I could do that right now. Here. Invite to server. It's not. Okay, or send a server. Oh, because I'm on streamer mode. Edit the invite link. Expire after. Never. Generate a new link. Here we go. Copied. Can I go to my... Let's see if this lets me do this. Do I like Jonah Coleman? Dubs21? No. I don't. I don't know that I mean, I would change my tune right away, Dubs. If he has a role early in the year, yeah, I'll change my tune. But I expect J.K. Dobbins to be the main back there, or the first back. And then I think R.J. Harvey will still have a role there. I don't know where Jonah Coleman plays. It would surprise me if he had a large role as a rookie. But if he does early in the year, I'm going to change my tune. Is it someone I'm drafting? Not really. Is it someone I'm drafting for my dynasty leagues? No. I hit visit. Just going to see that the link is expired. This one doesn't even say the link is expired for tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. We're going to try to change it. Can I change it? Can I delete it? No, it just keeps taking me to an active Discord share link. Rock Carroll, let me, or who was that? Yeah, Rock. I mean, I'll just put this here. If you can copy paste that, that's the Discord link. Phase 201 in Dynasty. Do I draft CD or London? I like CD Lamb more. It's Jake 11. 32-man league. Do it are Swift and Shaheed. Oh, trade Swift and Shaheed for Swift, Shaheed, Shakir for CMC. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to answer ones that I don't know the values for. God, I don't have a good gauge on what 32 team league values would be, because there's going to be some other sort of, and it didn't make play noise for me, Rock, but thank you for the gifts coming through. I don't know what the value gauges would be. Like I'm a pretty heavy stickler on, like, tell me what your dynasty league settings are. It's not as much for like, tell me what your redraft settings are, but tell me what type of league it is. If you're in a keeper league, if it's a what are we talking? A 32-man league. I don't know what the scoring setting changes are for that. Are we adding in some sort of tight end premium to make them more value? Adding in points per carry. And I'm not asking you to tell me those things. I'm telling you there could be plenty of things that I just don't have the information for your specific league. So any answer I give you, like, not going to be based on anything. Low thoughts. I get Genty and Scat. I give up Jonathan Taylor. Is this for a redraft league? I think that I don't think. Oh, in an 8-man league? Yeah, that feels like an 8-man team question. I might just stick with Jonathan Taylor, depending on the rest of the team. 254 kicks in a 12-man PPR 103 is Chase the clear choice. That's what I would do. I'd be fine if you took Chase at 101. Jason, Omar Jr. or Boston in a rookie draft? I'm still giving the slight edge to Omar Jr. I would still go with, do I have this right? No, Omar Jr. was taken after Concepcion in the real NFL draft, right? I think so, but before Denzel Boston. I know he was definitely taken before Denzel Boston. I would have a hard time taking a second-round NFL receiver compared to a first-round one. Let's put this on the screen and see if it fills up. We got Pootie's squad. Felipe. Oh, yeah. Let's add this to the screen. Oh, that's why it didn't work. ESPN wanted me to log in. I need to find my password, and I need to not say it out loud while I type it. Just a moment, and we'll put this on the screen. Christian, if I don't get St. Brown at 108, 109 for my leagues, who should I take? Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook. Any of those are going to be okay. How do I search? Hulu? Do I go like Disney? Is this the password? This feels like the password. I feel like I've typed this before. He's just going to let me in. Here we go. Maybe that all just showed up on your screen. Whatever. If you guys are looking to get into, we'll do a mock draft tonight that I am going to convert into a league that will not be played out. I just need a active ESPN league so that I can, so we can work on our site to get an active year's data. So if you guys are looking to do a 12-team mock draft tonight, join in. The link is in our Discord. Blake Little, 10-man PPR league, second overall pick. Assuming I take Bijan or Gibbs, who should I target second round? I mean, we'll cover it on the mock draft. Blake, if you want to jump in and take pick 2, go for it. And we can talk through it. What's the highest Genty is going in redraft 12-man league? The highest? I don't know, like 109, 110. Should he go there? I don't know. Easton, when at? You want to do one right now, Easton? It's in the Discord. If you guys are looking to join in on a draft right now, this is not a paid draft. This is just a mock draft that I'm going to use for building out our site. So if you're looking to get in, the link is in our Discord, in our chat. Or if you want to join the Discord from any browser, you can just type tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. There's also the link was in our chat at one point. Donnie, I have Taylor, Barkley, and Cook. Should I try and trade one for a wide receiver and keep them all? You should always try to trade, Donnie. Donnie, that's the secret. If you want to win more, always be trying to trade. Always be trying to trade. The best way to make your team better overall should be the one building trades. Quality Turns draft strategy. We've got our draft strategy video right here. Quality Turns on YouTube. It's the same name, Boom Bust Fantasy. We've got our draft strategy video. You've got the 104 in a 12 team PPR, keeping Judkins as your 10th round pick. We've got our running back guide for how we change our draft strategy based on when we take running backs and the running backs that we like in every round. And we've also got a mock draft from pick 6. This is a really low viewed video, so I don't know how many mock draft videos we're going to do. Donnie, what's a good wide receiver for one of them? And which one of those 3 would you try to move on from? Donnie, you move on from the one that people want. That's the reality. Stop trying to, one of the worst things people do for their fantasy teams is say, I've got these players to move, but I'm only going to offer up one. I put this on our screen, Donnie. This is our trade builder. We'll have this launched for ESPN leagues by early next week, and then Yahoo leagues a couple days later. We're building out the functionality, but this is what we have. If you have it's going to put your team on the screen. And if you want to trade players for a running back, you can click on the players from your team. Let's say you want to move Puka Nacua and Trevion Henderson. This is one of my teams from last year. It's going to go through, and we've got it set to only give me packages of one player. You can say, I want to go 2 for 2. And it's built out packages from the real rosters in my league of 2 for 2s. So if you want to know who you could get, we'll have the trade builder for redraft leagues next week. Alex C. Tet or Wilson? I think Garrett Wilson has more upside. Garrett Wilson has more ups. I mean, we've seen him be very good. Garrett Wilson has more upside. I would probably, I think I might feel safer with Tet. Nate, who do you like more, McConkey or Ibuka? Ibuka, but it's really close. Jess, how do you feel about me having Carnell Tate on my taxi squad so that I can score less points and get a draft pick for 27? I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Easton, if you want pick 11, join in. Did you join in? You have pick 11. We'll do our best to keep it that way. Taxi points still count, I believe. I don't know if they do, Rock. I'm not sure. It'll depend on your league, Jess. Steven, Amon-Ra or JSN at the 5. No PPR, but wide receivers get more points per yard than running backs. I might go with, I mean, that one, that's coin flip territory. It's coin flip territory. So I don't know that you're going to go wrong with either one of those guys. Which one do I want? I like Amon-Ra. But I don't know that JSN isn't going to be better. We're in the same territory. Rygal says, people be dumb. Hey, I be dumb. I be dumb. I do be dumb. Gang? I do be dumb. Carlos Camacho, who do I take at first? Who do you want to take, Carlos? Tell me who you want to take. There's a good chance I would say, yeah, that's fine. MRD, I'm taking Genty at 104 and a 12-man. I personally wouldn't. Luke is saying, Carlos, you take Christian Watson. Luke, how are you doing, boss? How are you doing, big guy? How are you doing, big guy? Easton, I don't know why I have 2 teams, but could you kick one of them? Sure. Are you Aiden or are you Easton? I see Aiden with 3 teams. Luke, chat Thursday? Sure. Yeah. Remove. We'll remove one of Easton. And then Aiden, was there a specific spot you wanted? MRD, who would you go at 104? Puka, Jamar Chase, whichever one is there. Any running back is not there. TikTok chat can't be seen. We want night version. Is there night version for ESPN? Is there dark mode for ESPN? We can go to... Does ESPN have night mode? I'll change it. I just don't know where it would be. MRD says yes. ADN 2 is good. I don't know what that means, Aiden. Fantasy ESPN. I have a bigger settings. Please ESPN. Settings. Is it under settings? Link to unlock the full betting experience. Jesus Christ, I just want to go to dark mode. Do you guys know how to change? ESPN's going to take me home. That's not what I wanted to click. Can you try refreshing? I think I got 2 of your teams out. Yeah, we'll refresh it. Hydra, you're so excited to draft the best team. I'm excited for you. I'm not gonna, I'll think through the stuff as I do it. You guys said that there's dark mode for this. Where? I understand what you're saying, that it is annoying that you can't see the chat. I can just move it. Can you make me team 2 though? No. No. Alex C, Luther or Terry? I think I would take Luther there. I don't find that I'm going to be drafting either one of those guys that much. I'm going to move that off the screen and then we'll try to... Can we do something? Can we do something? I don't find myself taking either one of those guys that much. Luther Burden's value is jumping all over the place. We'll take a look at where he goes in this draft and talk about it. I have this off screen. I'm going to try to set dark mode. I'm going to Google ESPN dark mode while we're doing this, while we're answering things. ADN sleeper mocks are way easier. I will tell you, ADN, we're really only doing an ESPN mock because I need to convert it into a league of 2026. I don't have any drafted 2026 leagues. So this is just for typing out or building out the website so that I have a 2026 league to fully test. Are sleeper mocks easier? They might be. They might be ADN, but does it help me? It doesn't. It doesn't help me at all. Hydra taking Kyle Pitts with my first pick. Oh. Didn't I just trade Kyle Pitts with you today? We've got Adrian and Aiden. And I'm not sure that we're going to fill this league. I'm not sure it's going to fill up. If people are looking to do a dynasty mock draft, let's make this smaller on the TikTok for now so that the TikTok chat shows up. You can join in on our Discord to fill in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many? No, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. So we would need 7 more if people wanted to get in here. It's not a real league. We're just mocking it out. Alexi, Luther or Waddle? I may end up taking Jalen Waddle there. That is one where, I like drafting Jalen Waddle. Luther Burden does worry me with him going, is that early 4th round value? That's where I would have Jalen Waddle. You guys are looking to get into a mock draft. Join it up. Join it up. Join it in. Luke Antar, I have the 109. Should I take CD and Genty or Achan or CD and Justin Jefferson if they're? I think if Jefferson's there at the flip, I would be taking Jefferson. ADN, and it would start immediately. This is really just so that I can turn this into a league and use it for testing. We can do it as a mock draft, but this will start as soon as it fills up. And then it will not become a real league. It'll be looking like a real league, but I'm not going to be playing it out. That's why it's called Boom Bust Test. How do you join the Mock SP Real Estate? It's in our Discord. Alex C, how do you join? It's in our Discord. I'll put the Discord link. I mean, the Discord link is in our bio. It's just tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. And then we've got a channel that says mock drafts. And there's a link right there. Can I copy and paste this link right into the chat? Is this going to work for you? If you're on Twitch and YouTube, you can just type !Discord. Otherwise, it's in the chat. ADN says if it does. Oh, like as if it fills in. We made it a little bit smaller so that the TikTok chat shouldn't be, and we could move it up some too. Let's move it up a little bit to give a little bit more room to TikTok chat. There is not a way to do dark mode. Do I review redraft teams? Broken? We will, starting very soon. So on Broken, that's what we're doing right now. Broken, we're making an ESPN league, and then I'm going to use this to do final testing of our website, and then we will review redraft teams through there. There'll be a way to submit them, and then it'll give us an easy way to put anybody's team on our screen so that we can talk about them, as well as give us access to all of the rosters in there. There you go, Rock. We've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots here. It would say Ross's rowdy team. I see you, Ross. You're at pick 10. And this might auto rotate. If people want to do mock drafts, we can do them with Sleeper. For other ones, I do just need one ESPN league to do my final testing with. Mason, Hampton, and Smith for Gibbs. Like, would I trade Gibbs for Hampton and Smith? I don't know that I would. I typically like the one side. Braden 2 Yankee. We've got a Discord where you can find it in our mock drafts channel. Mark that as red. And then can I put this on the screen? I don't know if I'm even logged in on Discord here. It's a browser that I only use for, we'll log in, and then we'll show this on the screen. To join the Discord, it is tinyurl.com/discord, or excuse me, tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. I'm logging in right now so we can put it on the screen so you can see it. Check your phone, log in. Authenticate with a passkey or security key. Okay. Use a passkey. That's my face. Thank you, face. Alrighty. AKA CK, you taking Price or Tyson in a non-PPR dynasty league? Well, yeah, I would take both. I'm not sure what, I think we would need follow-up questions there. If you guys are looking to join our mock draft, we've got a channel in our Discord. I just made it. Oh, which one am I taking? Tyson. I'll take Tyson, aka CK. Here's our Boom Bust Fantasy Discord. We have a mock draft channel under the Redraft Fantasy mock drafts. You can click right on it here. We've posted it in the chat. We'll take a look at what we've got. 4 spots remaining. So Braden 2 Yankee, that should get you in there. Dixie, how are you? James Cook, Chase Brown, or A-Chan at the top of the second? James Cook. Rock Harold, defensive players. There shouldn't be defensive players in here. Kittle and A.J. Brown for Lemon and Bowers. Kenji, is this like a redraft question? If you have a dynasty question, we take our dynasty questions on our site. Kenji, Kittle and A.J. Brown for Lemon and Bowers. And that's Lemon and Bowers. The league settings show defensive ends and cornerbacks. They shouldn't. Basic settings, roster size, total starters 9, total on bench. No, There's no quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex. There's no defensive ends or cornerbacks in here. There's no defensive ends or cornerbacks in here. League home? No, we need league members. We've got 4 spots remaining. We're doing a mock draft tonight. Doing a mock draft tonight. This will give us testing for our site. And then starting next week, or starting later this week, starting very soon, we're doing redraft team reviews. So if people are looking to get in here, Caleb Cards 18, Genty or Hampton. I don't know that you can, I don't know that we know enough to say which one for sure, but I would typically take Genty first. I just really like the center that they added onto the Raiders. They're both very good. They're both going right near each other, and I think that's right. Yeah, Rock, they're listed, but with a 0 in basic info. Yes. If you guys are looking to run viewer mock, we'll start this one up as soon as it fills in. We've got 4 spots. It's in our Discord. We'll also just put the link to the invite right here in the chat. I don't know if it lets you click on link from chat. But you can always copy paste it, maybe. Easier to digest in Sleeper. Rock Carroll, I'm begging you. I think it might be. We're building out our ESPN integration. Guys, we'll probably do a Yahoo mock draft next week to get a league for full testing. We'll probably do one in Yahoo next week to fully test the Yahoo integration. What we're working on right now is adding in our ESPN integration to our site. We've got tools like our trade builder. Got tools coming out like our trade analyzer to help you analyze your guys' trades. If you guys are just looking to be able to click on players from your team and see what types of things you could get in a trade back for them, that is what we have. We're adding in our ESPN integration for that. We're building out an ESPN league right now to do our final testing with that. It's also a mock draft. So if people are looking to get in, we've got that right here. 4 spots. 4 spots available. We'll start it right on up and we'll talk through what we're doing because we've got people asking about different types of picks. HFH, I got Stribling in the 4th round of my dynasty draft of like your rookie draft. That's very cheap for him. On Sleeper, the ADP didn't update for a long time and he just stayed outside of the top 2 rounds. So I got him in the 3rd quite a bit to make sure I got him. I mean, Stribling was someone, I think Stribling was in my original video back in April when I said, I'll take the guy taking the first pick of the 2nd round over a lot of options. So I've got a lot of Stribling. I'm probably trying to trade a lot of Stribling. Bones 912, I have pick 4. Should I take Puka or Amon-Ra? I would take Puka ahead of Amon-Ra most of the time. I really like both. I typically am taking Puka. We've got 3 spots remaining. Bones, do you want to look at a mock draft? We're doing mock draft right now. If you want to see how your team looks, we have pick 4 available, Bones. Matt, I got the 109 spot. I have no clue what I'm doing. We're about to do a mock draft, Matt. We could talk through the 109. B Dizzle, is this the order we will be drafting? I'd like to keep the 3rd pick. Hopefully. If I go to settings, can I change that? Hopefully we can. Draft. Edit. Draft order. Manually set. So it should just be manually set. HFH, if you do 10 team, I would join. Well, we've got 2 more spots. Stribling may be a big steal for you. It might be, HFH. Elver, you want to join? We've got the link in our Discord to join it. Arian, thoughts on Tootin? You took him over Swift? I don't know that you made a mistake. DeAndre Swift's probably going to be like running back 15 in total scoring this year we're talking PPR scoring. Could Tootin beat that? Of course he could. I don't know that you're crazy. Arjun, I'm in a 12-man PPR redraft. I'm at pick 5 and traded 205 and 405 for the 108. Who won? I haven't played in leagues where we do... It's feeling like even, but you probably got it. You probably won. A lot of the times in redraft, the strategy is combine as much of your value into better starters. Move up as often as you can. It's not the same in Dynasty, which is why I really like Dynasty. There's more depth to the strategy. Redraft, you're generally winning if you can get 3-for-2 trades and 2-for-1 trades. I agree with you, HFH. I like what's his name? Quinshon Judkins this year. Braden 2 Yankee, can I get pick 2? I can remove you and have you rejoin. You're at 6. There's multiple Bradens. I'm going to hit remove and you can rejoin it. I don't know how to do it. Alex C, I hit the link and I'm on ESPN now, but not in the mock draft page. Are you Alex C? I see you in here, Alex. H, if you got a Dynasty trade question, submit it on the site. I don't see any trades in the trade queue, H. If you got a Dynasty trade question, submit it on the site right here. Chase Brown or Genty in PPR redraft? I don't think you can really go wrong there. Jobus. We got one spot available for our mock draft here. Chase Brown was running back 7 last year in PPR. Genty was like 12. We hope that Genty gets better. I think at that point, like, you're okay going either way. Jobus. You're talking about the right players. If you were saying, like, should I take Chase Brown or I'm even blanking on someone else's name to throw into the question. Kai edits, why can I only upload sleeper teams? We're building it right now, Kai. ESPN will launch next week. Or will be launched by next week, hopefully sooner. What we're doing right now, Kai edits, we're doing a mock draft for people right now, but then this team is going to stay as a league for a little while so I can do my final ESPN testing. On one of our future lives in the next couple of days, we're going to do an ESPN or Yahoo league. So I can do all of my Yahoo testing and make sure that things look right. So that we can track trades and things and so on. Elver, ESPN is better than Yahoo? Okay. Okay. Rock says it's Chase Brown. Do you want Chase Brown over Genty? It wouldn't surprise me if Genty outscored him. Elver, testing for what? Elver, we've got a website, boombustfantasy.com. So we have tools like this, Elver, for your redraft leagues. If you want, but one of the questions I get a lot, Elver, is people saying, like, I have this player and this player. Who can I trade them for? So we have a tool. It's our trade builder. It pulls redraft player values. And what you can then do is just click on players from your team, Elver. If I want to move Trevion Henderson and Puka Nacua and I want to get 2 players back, I want to do a 2-for-2 trade and I want to know who's available. Maybe I need to move a wide receiver and bring in 2 running backs, or move a wide receiver into running back and get 2 in return. It builds out packages for you based on real trade values. Now, I'm in a 2-quarterback league. That's why Tyler Shuck's value would be up there. It is nice, Elver. It is nice. That's what we're doing. We then, I don't think we have any dynasty trades on the site. You can also submit your trade questions to the site, and that puts them on the show. Stay P, is the draft full? I don't know. It is not. Stay P. I'm going to copy the link and paste it one more time. Stay P. Take it. It's also in the Discord. So you can submit your trade questions to the site, Elver. We have a trade analyzer that we're releasing soon. It's very good for dynasty trades. We're going to take a look at how it does for redraft trades to help analyze things. But that's what we've got. And then it'll also just let you submit your team. One of the things we did last year in our Discord for people, is it going to be free, Elver? Unlikely. Unlikely. It is unlikely to stay free. If I thought that making it free and doing donations through the live streams was the way to go, we would do that. But it has not been. Stimmy check, do you like early quarterback and tight end in 10-man leagues? Stimmy check, we've got our full draft strategy video set up on YouTube. The short version is, I do not like it for quarterbacks. I do like it for tight ends. And historically, that has been the move. And we go over that a lot in the video. Check it out. We go over the reasoning why, because there's just math behind it. Do we have 12? We've got it. Can I just set this to draft right now? This is not how we will do all of our mock drafts. I just want to test league for the site. League. Schedule your draft. Snake. Where's the schedule? Draft date. Tuesday, right now. We're going to put it on fast clock. 30 seconds. I can only start it at 9 p.m. So we'll start at 9, then we'll go through it. You should be able to join the draft room then. League home, join your draft. And if it lets me click start now, we will. Vince, Bijan or Gibbs, what's your take? Vince, you typed it 3 times. The answer is no one has a take. Vince, if anybody has a take, just stop listening to that person. We don't know. There's not enough information to say. Who's going to be right? Who's going to be wrong? If you want Bijan, take Bijan. Hydra, you have a take? Honestly, go for it. He says Gibbs. Okay. Gibbs is number 1 on ESPN. I don't know that it matters that much. Does this let me start the draft right now? We just try to get guys into... Josh, you synced your leagues into the website. How do you submit your team for review? I'll show you while we go through this. If you have a team, a dynasty team, Josh, the page to do that is the team advice page, and then it is a paid product. So it should show your credit count right here, how many team review credits you have. If you click that, it'll take you to the profile page to do that, or you can click here and go to profile. And then once you have that credit, you just hit request team review and it will use the credit. You just make sure that you have the right league that you want selected. I've got all of my leagues here. We're adding in redraft leagues coming from ESPN and Yahoo onto the site in the next couple of days. We added ESPN about 80% of the way last night, and then we'll launch that in the next couple of days, and then Yahoo will come right after that. That's the wrong thing that I have here. Here's this mock draft. I wish I could just set this to start right now, but it'll start in the next couple of minutes. We'll keep going through questions. Elver, you got number 2? Are you Jason? Should I draft J.J. McCarthy? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would not. I don't think I would. I don't think I would. I'll tell you that much. I don't think I would. Let's give it an update. No dynasty trades in the queue. No team reviews in the queue. When we do this, we'll do this mock draft. We'll talk through it as we go. And then once this wraps up, we'll end up wrapping up the show. And we'll be back again tomorrow. What's today? Tuesday? We'll be back again tomorrow about 7:30 Central Time. And we'll do that by, I think, Monday through Thursday through the season. Going into the season and through the season. And if I need to change things with my wife, we'll shake it up and we'll change it. I guess I have pick 1. We'll go with Pootie's take. Alex C said, who asked that she? There's jokes, Alec. There's jokes. Am I saying I'm live during the mock draft? Yeah. And we'll make it larger and we'll talk about it as we go. We'll pull up the board, and in more mock drafts. Charles, can you get in on this one? No, this one filled up. Charles, we'll do a Yahoo one in the next couple of days, and then we'll also do a bunch of sleeper ones. Sleeper mocks. Sleeper mocks are definitely easier. Some of what we're doing right now, Charles, is this is actually set up as a full league. It's just our test league that I'm then going to use for the site we're building. We have a site that works for Dynasty questions and Dynasty team reviews and Dynasty things. We're adding in ESPN and Yahoo to integrate with our tools. Like, we have a really nifty trade builder. People ask a lot of the times, hey, I have these 3 wide receivers. Who should I move because I need a running back? So we have a tool that does that. Here's my team in a league. This is a league from last year, ESPN. I've just carried over the players. If you just click Puka Nacua, and let's say I want to move, like, this team needs running backs. If I wanted to move Puka and Roma Dunze and I want to get a running back and a wide receiver, and I want it as a package of 2 players, it's then built out like fair value teams based on the rosters in my league. So we're doing an ESPN league right now that I'll use to fully test out the rest of the integration for this, because we have this set up for Dynasty where you could then you could have put in your future picks, but we'll use this ESPN league. We'll test this. That'll launch in a couple days, and then we'll do a draft with a Yahoo league on one of these as well, so that I have a test Yahoo league to make sure that everything works out well for the site. And then when we do mocks in the future, we'll probably do what is this, mock testing? It'll just become a league, ADN. So it'll be pulling all of the information. Like, I don't have any ESPN leagues that I'm in that I've drafted yet. So I just need to make sure that it pulls all of the players correctly, that it shows all of the positions correctly, that we can track trades that happen, that we can pull waivers and who's available in the league and things like that. Stuff like that. GOAT. Who do you have? Drake London or Chris Olave? I have Drake London ahead. I would take Drake London ahead. Aaron, do you have any recommendations for the 106? I'm in a 10-man PPR. We're about to do a mock draft right now, but 106? I mean, players available, Christian McCaffrey. Why not take McCaffrey? I think he's fine there. I would take McCaffrey. I would take JSN if Jamar Chase was there because someone took McCaffrey ahead of me there. I like all 6 of these guys. Gibbs, Bijan, Puka, Jamar Chase, JSN, McCaffrey a lot. And I would take them all ahead of Jonathan Taylor. I'd probably take Amon-Ra ahead of Jonathan Taylor. ADN, am I taking Amon-Ra St. Brown at 6, or is that a reach? I just said I would do it. Would I do it at 6? I could. Said that one a couple times tonight. ADN, you're going to win it. I guess we could put it to a vote after, well, I don't know how I would put it to a vote. I don't think I could do a 12 option poll, or that I would want to. Does Detroit's center being out affect Gibbs and St. Brown? It doesn't make them better, John, on YouTube. I can't imagine that it would make their team better. Do I know that it's for sure going to tank the Lions? Or should I change my values on Gibbs or St. Brown that much? No, I don't think I will. If they go from having a great offensive line to just a good one, then yeah. Unless I did some research, John, and found that they don't have a backup center, or that they're starting like a 7th round pick and they're very worried about it, or that they're trying to trade for someone, then I would be concerned. Alex C, am I concerned about CMC? Like, as much as I was last year, and I was wrong last year. He was the running back 1 last year. Elver, you're scared about drafting running backs that just got paid? I don't know that there's any historical data that would back that fear up. Dan Labib, 10-man Kyler. 10-man Kyler, Bijan, Bucky, Nico, Neighbors, Kraft, Ladd. We're going to do team reviews, Dan, starting very soon. We're actually taking this league to test out our site, and I'll test out the team review overlay from there. But we will launch that by next week. Jelly Sauce is right. If the running back was holding out, long-term holdout, like we saw with, looks like I'm on the clock. I'm going to take Gibbs here. I don't particularly like Gibbs over Bijan in any notable way, but he's on the board there. You got to pick one. And I think if you're picking or doing research, if you end up with pick one, I'm not doing a ton of research between Gibbs versus Bijan or whomever. I also would have been fine with Jamar Chase. We'll go through the pick history. Chase went at 2, then Bijan, fine. I think those 3, fine in any order there. I would have been fine if you took Jamar Chase at 1 because you felt confident with the running backs that you could get in later rounds. We are going to have a very short clock on this. This will be one of the last things that we do tonight. We'll turn this into a league. If you guys want to send some trades in here just for fun, that helps out as well. We got JSN at 6, McCaffrey at 5. I think all 6 of these guys this is really the first tier that I would have. Gibbs, Chase, Bijan, Puka, McCaffrey, JSN. And then at 107, people start looking at Jonathan Taylor. I personally might go like Amon-Ra or CeeDee Lamb there because they've just been top 5 guys. I think at 108 here, I probably would be taking CeeDee Lamb. I don't know who Jay here is going to take. They go with Jonathan Taylor. That's more in line with ADP. I know CeeDee Lamb goes a little bit, couple picks later. There he is at 109. I think he's fine there. And I like Justin Jefferson at 110. Can I resize this? Or do I just have to move over to see the board? James Cook, first running back off. Do we get any of the more wild running backs in this range? What I think is more wild. Like, does Achane go here? I probably wouldn't take Achane here. Jeremiah Love is not someone that I would be drafting here. I've seen Jeremiah Love going on some sites at the end of the 2nd round. And that's about more where I would feel comfortable taking him. I don't particularly like Achane at the top of the 2nd round either, with how much worse Miami's offense is going to be this year, or how much worse I project they'll be. I don't know that I know that they will. We'll pull the board up. We had Saquon at 112 at the 201, same person. Are they going wide receiver here? Is there a wide receiver that I would consider here? It would be like Drake London. No, they take Ken Walker ahead of Achane, ahead of Genty. Hampton at 202. Even that, I may go with Genty ahead of Omari and Hampton. Elver, do I really like Genty this year? I like the changes that the Raiders made to their offensive line. Am I panicking on Hampton? No, I thought the 202 was too high to begin with. User, do I have any concerns on a Puka suspension? I don't actually know a ton about what he is reported to have done. Next picks that we have, though, Genty and Achane. This is about where I'd be fine taking Achane. I don't really grab him up here. Hypothetically, is this redraft or dynasty? It would be a redraft, ADN. Am I taking Christian McCaffrey or Jamar Chase, Blake Payton? I would take Jamar Chase. Personally, I would take Jamar Chase every time. 206, we go Chase Brown. I think that's a really good spot. Or I think that's really good value for Chase Brown. I like Chase Brown kind of in the same range as all of these guys. Hampton, Genty, Achane, Chase Brown. He finished last year as running back 7. And if Burrow hadn't been injured, or if they just had Flacco earlier, I think Chase Brown could have hit top 5. Derrick Henry at 208. I also like Henry in this range. Derrick Henry, I think, was running back 8 last year in PPR. I would be fine with that. B-Sant, I have the 101. After seeing the Cade Mays injury, I think I'm still going Gibbs. Should I not? If it worries you, take Bijan. I have not done a ton of research on the backup center there to have that strong of an opinion. Well, just swap in Bijan. I don't think if you're having a worry about it, just swap to the other guy. I took Gibbs here just because he was at the top of the board on ESPN and specifically mentioned I would have been just as happy to have Gibbs. Nick Maltese, thoughts on Olave and Ibuka as my main wide receiver duo? I don't have any issues with that. All right, I'm on the clock. Jeremiah Love is at the end of the second round, which is where I would consider him. Rashi Rice is in this range. Did Bowers go? Yeah, Bowers just went. I would have taken Bowers if he was here. I mean, I'm probably going to use one of these picks on Nico Collins, so maybe I go Trey McBride and Nico Collins because I know I can get running backs later. So I'm going to go Trey McBride. And Nico Collins is the only player that I'm considering in this range. I think he should be just much higher up in the second round. I had a video on that one earlier this week. Like, he's just regularly a top 10 guy. Once I've gotten through 3 picks, though, like I'm through round 3. If I'm in a real draft, this one's going to go through pretty quickly. As I'll pull the board up, it's going to go through pretty quickly. I think you guys want to see more of the board. We'll jump back and forth. But I would be looking at, well, who's available in my next spots? I do have a running back. I have a tight end. I have a wide receiver. I'm wide open on what I could do here. What running backs are we targeting later? I don't see much upside after round 3. There's a lot of upside. We did a whole video on running backs that I would be targeting. That one came out on Monday. It's every single round of the draft by ADP. We throw the full round of ADP on the board, and we just talk through all of the running backs there. Alex C. Judkins way too high. I mean, I would be taking Judkins in. Did Judkins just get drafted? I would be yeah, Judkins just went in the 3rd round. I've seen Judkins going in like the 5th or 6th round, and I would have taken him there. What I would be doing right now is just going through the players and saying, where are my next picks? What am I? I'm pick. Yeah, ESPN really is not great for this. If Bucky Irving were to come back to me, I don't think he will. I'd grab him. Running backs in this range. If I just need a second running back, like Swift is just going to be an RB2. Maybe if he gets injured, that'll affect things, but I would be fine with taking Swift for my second running back. Pull up the board. I think that the view, if we go to roster view, no, I don't like that. I like round view. We will do more mock drafts this offseason, and we'll probably use Sleeper because it's a little bit better for showing when your next pick is going to be, things like that. 308, we get Josh Allen, and I think that's okay. If I can get him at the end of the 3rd round, that's about the price where I want to be taking my first quarterback in any redraft league. And Josh Allen's the only guy over the past couple of years that has really ever lived up to that high of a price regularly, year in, year out. So I would be fine taking him there. Chase Price thoughts redraft, not all in, to be honest. Jadarian Price, that might be someone I grab here. If I'm doing a draft, and if he's there at 702, I may just take Jadarian Price and then spend a 12th or 11th round pick to get Zach Charbonnet, and then just know that I have a running back throughout the entire year. Judkins in the 3rd, I think, is a bit surprising to me. I would not have expected that because the last time I was looking at ADP 1 to 2 days ago, he was going in like the 5th round. Luka, best draft position for a 10-man league. There's no such thing, Luka. There's no such thing. People asking questions like, what's the best draft position, should spend 0 time thinking that and should spend all of their time thinking more of what we're doing here. Looking at the players and going, okay, I've got 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end. Who am I targeting? I want to look at where I can be getting running backs coming up. Like, do I take Scatabo if he comes up to me? We're at pick 48. If I'm going to just start putting guys on the queue. Like, if Bucky falls to me, I'll take him. If Scatabo falls to me, I'll take him. I don't think Kyron would fall to me in this range, but I'm looking at this 4 or 5 turn, and I want to be much more comfortable with who's available at the 4 or 5 turn, who's available at the next turn, and things like that. Your draft position is just garbage compared to doing things like that. Lucas Ella, would I be crazy to wait on a tight end and try to get Kraft late? You're high on him. Tucker Kraft is a tight end that I would be fine taking. I don't often wait on a tight end, but when I say that, I mean more like later down. Like, I'll get tight end 12. If we were waiting on a tight end this year and we hadn't taken Trey McBride at the turn, where I just kind of liked his value there, I would target Kelsey in like round 9 and just shoot early and get someone like Travis Kelsey, who was a top 5 tight end last year. Kyron Williams goes, know some people are worried about Bucky Irving. I hope that I get Bucky or Travis Etienne here. If nothing else hits me where I don't like any of the values at the running backs, then I'm just going to scroll down and look at like, well, okay, who are my next guys that I could get? I'm at pick 48, so I'd be close to, am I at pick 60? No. Be pick 72 and 73. Is that right? Lucas Ella waiting is in round 5 to 7. Oh, yeah, sure. I think that's fine. Zay Flowers goes there. Tyler Warren goes in the 4th round. We'll throw the board on here. Kyron Williams goes. If Etienne or Bucky is there, that's my pick. And then I'll probably pair them with wide receivers in this range. Is Neighbors for Ibuka and Etienne a good trade, Carson? If it's in a dynasty trade, you can submit it on our site for redraft. No. I'd stay with Neighbors. Speaking of Neighbors, is he gone? He's been falling into, no, Neighbors in the 3rd, yeah. We get Loveland in the 3rd. What color are they? Tyler, oh, kind of hard to see. Tyler Warren's this like greenish color. There goes Travis Etienne. I mean, the people in this draft with me can hear me. I would take Bucky right here pretty happily as a second running back. And there goes Bucky. To make my pick, it would offer up Terry McLaurin. I wouldn't do that. Here's a spot where I could take Trevion Henderson, knowing that I've got to go get other running backs with them. I've got 2 spots here. Do I take Jaden Daniels if I'm looking for running backs? I might take the upside of Henderson. I don't know that we're going to get Jadarian Price coming all the way back to us. We're on the clock again. I think I will go wide receiver here. I mean, if it was Tate a round later, I'd be pretty happy with that. I think I'll just take Jalen Waddle. I just like him as the lead guy for Denver. You get him in the 5th round. The lead wide receiver for Denver has been wide receiver 12 and 15 the past couple years. Like Cortland Sutton has been 12 and 15. So if I have that in Jalen Waddle and I'm getting it in the 5th round, I think that's really good value. I don't know that I will be getting that, but if I'm just getting a wide receiver 2, I'm pretty happy with that. User 99, welcome back. I do remember you. Luke, what are your thoughts on drafting a quarterback? Is it worth it to take one early if it's not Lamar and Allen? No, it is not. Mahomes or May in a keeper league? Drake May for the running. Can we see the board? Yeah, Mason. We're just doing this one on ESPN to convert it to a league to use for testing for our site, where you'll be able to then sync your ESPN leagues. User 99, last year you helped me win my league. I know I called you nasally, but you still helped me. I know you called me nasally. I do remember. Jadarian Price goes in the 5th round, which is pretty early compared to consensus ADP across other sites. Tootin at 505. I think I thought about like Tootin, Swift in that range. This is very early on Jadarian Price. If you're playing in home leagues with people who just check in on fantasy as you come up with the draft, I think Tootin or Price falls a little bit later. Where did we get Luther Burden? If we get Roma Dunze at 5'8", we get Luther Burden at 5'3", which is about where I would put both of these guys in the 5th round. K Mercer, how are you doing? How's your summer been? Busy, K Mercer. We've been building. User 99, I attribute you to winning my league, 12-man league in our 16th year, won 3K. Get it, big dog. Get it, big man. Get it, big man. K Mercer, we've been building. We've got our site prepped for this year. We've got tools like our trade builder. If you sync your ESPN leagues, we're building out Yahoo. We're building ESPN right now, and then we'll pivot to Yahoo by the time the season starts. We've got our trade builder. A lot of people just ask, I've got these players, who can I trade for? And that's what we built. If you wanted to look at this and say, I want to trade Jalen Waddle and I want to trade Roma Dunze, and I want just one running back in return. So we've got packages of 2 players or 1 player. Let's set it to just packages of 1 player. It's going to find values based on your league's scoring. and saying running backs of in that range that you could target. Could you just get Chase Brown for those? A top 5, 6, 7 running back in that range. So we'll have that ready for your ESPN leagues. We'll have that ready for your Yahoo leagues. We'll look into NFL leagues. I don't know how many people play on NFL or CBS or how many people do their redraft on Sleeper, but we'll have it for Sleeper as well because we built that tool for Dynasty. Montgomery at 602. I don't know that Swift and Montgomery should be in the same range here. I just like Swift much more. I don't know how confident I feel about David Montgomery for the whole thing. Daniel and Brooke, I've got pick 12 in a competitive PPR league. Who are we picking? At pick 12? Saquon went there. I mean, I might do a package of like Chase Brown and Drake London. If CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson fell there, I would take them. I don't know that I'm going to go that high for Hampton or Ken Walker. If I do, I might then try to trade after the draft. I like Chase Brown among these running backs. I'd be fine with Genty in that range. But at that range, I'm probably taking Drake London and A.J. Brown as one of the receivers. Tony Pollard in round 6. That's a bit early to me. User 99 Bijan to give me 40 points in the chip to win out. How can we go back to back? Just make good trades, make good moves throughout the year. Stick around, keep asking questions. Arshawn Bavari, thoughts on taking Neighbors over Bowers? At like this 210 range, Arshawn? I mean, right now he's at 307. It's going to, I mean, the answer with Malik Neighbors does really depend on when are you drafting. If you're taking him right now, it's not like I mean, at 210, you could probably just wait till 303 and get him. You've got 103 in a 10-man league. I'd probably just grab him early 3rd round. Take your 103, let the second pass you, and then grab him at 303. Even that's probably going to be pretty early. User 9 at 12 team, I had the 101, took Bijan and somehow got Puka with your second pick. You had the 101 this year, user 99, or was that last year? We have not been looking at the players as much as I would in a normal draft. In this range, I'm taking Jaden Daniels in the 7th or at this 6-7 turn. I could consider Jaden Daniels here. Of these players, who am I looking at? Joe Burrow, I could be fine with at the 6-7 turn. Wide receivers in this range, it's a lot of just quarterbacks. I'm probably not taking that many quarterbacks here. I would have gone with Brian Thomas. Are there running backs here? No. Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson. Chuba Hubbard going much later. We're going to run out of time. At this point, I may just take Jaden Daniels and pair him with, I don't really like Alec Pierce with an injury right now. I think Christian Watson already went. I'm on the clock. Am I going to take Michael Pittman? No. I could take Alec Pierce here. Would I go with Jacoby Myers? No. Would I take any of those other guys? I'll just take the upside with Alec Pierce, and I don't really like it as a flex option. Rock Harold, about to use a strategy of yours soon. I thought about it. I thought about grabbing. I've got some guys further down. We do have 2 running backs. I may take Aaron Jones and the other one. I may just grab Charbonnet and put him on IR spot. If you have an IR spot, just grab Charbonnet. Again with a follow on Twitch. Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. Other options I might put in here, like J.K. Dobbins, as a guy who will likely go up in value after the draft once he's playing. There were times last year when Dobbins was getting up and like regularly a top 15 running back and being valued that way. Until he was injured, he was a slight dip behind Javonte Williams. What round should Ken Walker go? He went at the 201, right? Ken Walker went at the 201 there. And I think he's going to go by mid-second round. Lex Gary, JSN, or St. Brown, they went back-to-back here. And I think that's the same way that I would consider that. Which one should you take? I like Amon-Ra because he's done it multiple times. We have a season and a half of JSN, which is pretty good. Pretty good with JSN doing what he did. But they're getting like similar numbers. Christian Watson was probably actually the pick here. If I could go back and redo my pick, I would definitely have taken Christian Watson over Alec Pierce, and I just didn't see him. So if this had been a real draft, I would have been writing down, I like Christian Watson at the start, at the 6-7 turn, and there he is at 7, midway through the 7th round. Trade Jordan Addison for Blake Corum? I wouldn't. That old silver 4-6, I would not. AD and your team's absolutely disgusting. Which team? Are you Aiden? Am I buying the Tootin hype? Where did he go here? 5th round? If I was getting him in the 6th, yeah. Like late 5th. Is that hype? That's about as much as I feel about it. My general take with Bashal Tootin has been just because the Jags didn't want to pay Etienne doesn't mean they actually love Tootin. And they could just replace him next year. If I'm drafting Tootin, I'm probably grabbing Chris Rodriguez as well later in the draft. Who do we have coming up? All right, we're on the clock in 12 picks. Let's take a look at the players available and come up with our plan. Could I consider doing Jalen Warren and Rico Dowdle? If they're both there, I might just do that. Who else could be coming up? Like we're pick 96 and 97. If they're both there, I'm just taking Dowdle, and I would go with Dowdle and that, or I would go Hubbard. I mean, maybe at 8-9, I'm just going to go, there goes Chuba Hubbard. I would have considered him. I would have just gone Hubbard and Brooks if they were both there. The other thing that I would look at is J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. But I'm kind of looking to do a package here. Or do I get Ramondre? I don't know that I want to do Ramondre. I kind of want the upside of, I've got Trevion Henderson for my second running back. I have Gibbs, and I can always trade off of Gibbs to get a different running back and like swap a wide receiver to get a different running back. So I would consider that in my draft, that I don't have to love the running back room that I have. If I have Jahmyr Gibbs, I can just make a trade to get different running backs and then trade up for better receivers. There goes Rico Dowdle. We would have done that package of Dowdle and Jalen Warren, but they're both gone. Round 8, pick 1, they went. So in this range, I mean, DK Metcalf this late is not a bad value. So we'll probably go, well, there goes J.K. Dobbins we would have taken. There goes Ramondre we would have considered. If we're at the 8-9 turn, DK Metcalf in a new offense with Mike McCarthy, I think is a solid pick. We go with Jacoby Myers. Do we just take John? I'm now on the clock. There we go. Jake Ferguson went right before us. I think we're just going to grab Jonathan Brooks and DK Metcalf. I like to get Chuba and Brooks. But if we're shooting for upside with our, what is this round? Oh, that was the 8-9 turn. With round 9, if we get a starting tier running back, people are fading DK, LOL. I don't know why they are. Well, I do know why they are, because he's been a wide receiver 3 for a long time. My pick on DK Metcalf here. Round 8, pick 12. Rock Harrell, expect a trade offer for Brooks. I mean, we're not playing the league out, but yes, do send me trades because I do want to see. Actually, Rock, if you just send me a trade, anything after this, it would be really helpful. So that I can make sure that we're doing trades. Told you I was going to use the strategy. I like getting Brooks and Chuba. Yeah, shoot a trade. And then maybe we do run a redraft league. this year with folks from the audience. I could have also considered going Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason later, kind of like them further towards the end. Round 10, who would I be taking? If I hadn't taken Jaden Daniels, and this is another thing. Let's take this and pivot a little bit. For people asking, like, who do I take at pick 101? I think you're just better off going to the site you're going to use for your draft and just running a couple mock drafts and looking more at, like, we were pick 1 overall, and I'm not happy that we took Jaden Daniels. Going at the board, like, who was in this area? I didn't like Terry McLaurin. I didn't want to take Luther Burden. Oh, no, wrong round. We took Jaden Daniels here. These guys were gone. I didn't really want Bo Nix. I didn't want Parker Washington, George Kittle. I could have gone Christian Watson, who I would have gone over Alec Pierce. But there's just no one that I really liked at round 7, the way that it was shaping up. So I went with Jaden Daniels. The thing that I would look at more, rather than asking who to take at 106, is run a couple mocks and find these ranges where you just don't like the values that much and have players written down further up that you would reach for. Like, I would have just taken Christian Watson in the 7th round, at the top of the 7th round, rather than who I did. So have a plan and then have those players, like, written down round by round targets that you would want to get to. Alex C ranked Purdy, Herbert, and Stafford. I would probably go Herbert and then Purdy and Stafford interchangeable. I think Herbert was available to us. Or is he still available? Yeah. Purdy, Stafford, and is Herbert, did he just go? Yeah, Justin Herbert just went. Was that Alex asking? Alex's awesome team just drafted Herbert. I would have taken Herbert if he had come back to me at pick 120. I doubt that he will. At 120, what am I doing this late in the draft? Just looking for massive upside plays. We're going to do round 10, round 11, 12, 13, and then we'll end up with our kicker and defense. I just want players that by week 1 or week 2, I either know that they are something or I know that I can drop them. So am I taking, like, Khalil Shakir? No. He'll finish the year as wide receiver 30 and, like, have some value some weeks, but it's the exact type of player I just don't want. I would rather take someone in this range like Isaiah Likely. Does he become a guy I don't like a ton, but because I already have a tight end and he has a lot of upside, if he's a top 5 tight end, he's a great value at this range. If Hunter Henry is like tight end 9, it's like maybe that works out for you, but it's not a ton of value. It's just not a big value return. And I actually know who I've looked at who I want to take here, and I won't say it. Blake Corum goes at round 10, pick 5. That's probably not a player I like a ton. We'll put the board up here and talk through the picks as they come through. Kenyon Sadiq goes round 10, 4. That's a similar range of what I was saying with Isaiah Likely, where I might grab Kenyon Sadiq and see what he is as a rookie. We've had multiple years in a row where a rookie tight end has been very solid. Kenyon Sadiq was drafted very early in the NFL draft. In the first round, people just don't want to draft a Jets player. But it could easily work out that he's okay. People didn't want to draft Raiders players until Brock Bowers got drafted. So I would have been okay with Kenyon Sadiq or Isaiah Likely here because I already have a tight end. So the strategy here would not be to wait and get one of these guys. I wouldn't ever go into my draft saying, like, well, in round 10, I'll just take my tight end. I would want to have a sure thing and then have a guy that if they work out, I can trade Trey McBride away. We're coming up on our pick. M, what do I think about Emeka Ibuka for Travis Etienne? In a redraft league, it's like the same value. Aren't they going very close to each other? Ibuka in the Etienne's got to be going like 4th round, right? No, he went right before me at Trevion Henderson. Yeah, 4th round. and Ibuka in that range. Probably Ibuka slightly ahead, but the flip isn't that bad. I'm on the clock. Stephon Diggs went one pick ahead of us. That's who we would have grabbed here as one of our players. Who was the other player that I would have taken? It was Stephon Diggs, and I would just grab Charbonnet here. If we think he's going to be back midseason, if your league has an IR spot, I want playoff running backs. And if I think he's going to be the lead guy for the playoffs, I want to take that shot and just throw him on the IR spot. I could also, if I hadn't taken a quarterback early, just take Kyler Murray here. I would not take Kyler Murray really as a second quarterback because I don't know how easy it would be to trade Jaden Daniels, who I have. Other picks in this range that I like, I'll just click Kyler, even after saying that I wouldn't take him. I could have considered Jordan Mason in this range. Isaiah Pacheco is someone we might grab with our next couple picks. But we're just looking for big upside plays. If Pacheco's getting a lot of touchdowns in the Lions offense, like we've seen David Montgomery do, like there were years where people just hated David Montgomery in drafts. It could be that Pacheco is similar to that. Probably not as high of an upside, but if he comes in and gets 8, 9, 10 touchdowns, like that can be usable for a flex week. I would have also considered someone like Casey Concepcion. I just want to know like which Browns receiver is getting work. So I could take Concepcion. I could take Denzel Boston this late in a draft. I could even just take Jerry Jeudy this late in a draft. And then weeks 1 or 2, see what's going on. And then I'll continue to call out, I just like quarterbacks in this range. We did snag Kyler, who I wish I had just waited for. Can I click Kyler and see a player card for him? I see complete stats. I'm not as familiar with how to track his year over year stats. It doesn't show his fantasy football finishes. The thing that I would have just pulled up to show is when he plays 16 games, he's a top 10 quarterback.
So that's one pair of glasses.
Now I'm getting an ad.
Prescription lens.
So I would have been fine not taking Jaden Daniels and just grabbing Kyler Murray in that range. And then if I'm waiting that long, where did I take him? I took him round 11, the start of round 11. Just take him the start of round 10 or late round 9 to get him. Alvin Kamara goes, Mark Andrews goes. We're hitting the end of the draft. We'll let this one run out. At this point, I'm just looking at like, can we get a running back who has a role? The running backs we have, Gibbs, Henderson, Jonathan Brooks, Charbonnet, who we would put onto an IR spot. I would consider players like, I like Chris Godwin in this range, who just went. I'm not really considering Shakir, like we mentioned. I probably just would not draft Khalil Shakir, even though he's in this range. I would consider like Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver for the Browns, to see how does his offense look in the first couple of weeks. If we drop Jerry Jeudy, no harm, no foul. We just want to know if we have a decent receiver in a new offense. Or do we grab Chris Rodriguez? Does he have a role for the Jags with Bashal Tutin? It's possible. Or do we get Denzel Boston? Same thing as Browns receivers. Gael Perez says Dobbins and CMC and Kittle or Cook and Bowers, parentheses follow. What does parentheses follow mean? Astro Live, first time chatter on Twitch. You think it's okay at the 103 to take Jamar Chase in the first round and Chase Brown in the second? I think it is. I don't think you need to be torn because they're on the same team. If you're at 103 and you get Jamar Chase, if Chase Brown is there that late, then yeah, I think that's a great value on Chase Brown. I would follow up and say we can make a trade, or that 1 week isn't going to tank your season. You care more about the playoffs than I do like the one bye week that we have. K Mercer, do I like Genty or Cook? Pick him from the 10 spot. I may just go with James Cook. It's possible Ashton Genty gets into that range. Like maybe he overshoots him or overtakes him. But James Cook has been really, really solid, and we've seen it happen. Dalton Kincaid goes, Tyler Shuck goes. We would have taken Rodriguez at this point in the draft. We just grab like Dejon Stribling. Another player that I would have waited to take if we hadn't gotten Kyler, I'd be fine taking Baker Mayfield. I would have just taken Baker Mayfield here. Who in the chat was that? Alex C got sniped for my Cuff Rodriguez. I like just getting both. Like, well, I don't know who's the for sure thing starter. So just take them both, and I would reach around for him if that's who was someone I was targeting, like Rodriguez. If I was drafting here, I would take Denzel Boston. And would I then take Stribling as well? In real drafts, when I'm in a 12-team league, I might just wait for Baker Mayfield. I'll see if I can get Kyler Murray. If I can't, I'll grab Baker Mayfield around early, and that's probably what I'll do for my real draft, because Baker Mayfield has been top 10 a bunch of times. I'll take the upside on Stribling. Have you factored the new coach scheme and upgraded O-line for Genty? I have. He was about running back 12 last year. I think it'll be better with a new, specifically, why am I blanking on his name? Every time I have to come up with the new center they signed and the picks that they made. Yes. Who are we talking about? Who was saying that? Oh, yeah, P. Rudini, and then followed up. He finished 11th last year with horrible coaching and no O-line. I know. We've been tracking it all off season. We covered a lot of Dynasty P. Rudini. So we've covered all the news stories throughout the year and tracked player value changes throughout the offseason. So, yeah. I do like it. I mean, that doesn't put him over Cook. I mean, I don't take a lot of what's in the mystery box. Like if you offer me a boat or what's in the box, I'll typically just take the boat rather than saying, I hope what's in the box is a boat. Like James Cook is already really good. Does it put him over James Cook for me? It doesn't. There are times where I'll just go with the guy that I've seen do it. Astro Live, do I like Jamar or Puka as the number one receiver? We've covered this quite a bit, and we'll continue to cover it through the offseason. We'll be live a lot of days. I think Monday through Thursday through the regular season. Or we'll come up with a finalized schedule, but it'll be something close to that. And we'll cover it a lot in draft season. What was the question? Do I like Jamar Chase or Puka? We're in the right range. I have them in the same tier. I'm taking Jamar Chase and Puka over Jonathan Taylor for sure. But as long as we're in the right tier, like, are we taking Gibbs or Bijan? In this draft, I took Gibbs. And when I drafted him, I said I would be exactly as happy to have Bijan. Am I taking Jamar Chase or Puka? I wouldn't worry too much about it. You should be looking way further down and saying, like, right here at 612. I don't want to be in my draft going, I should take Jaden Daniels here. I would rather know, like, I don't want Jaden Daniels because I could just get Kyler in the 10th or the 11th, or I could get Baker Mayfield in the 12th. Like, we should spend way less time going Jamar Chase or Puka. Like, it doesn't matter nearly as much as nailing these other picks later. Is it a mystery box when you consider how successful the scheme and coaching was for other running backs? I mean, the high highs is the mystery box, P. Rudini. Like, yes. If we have not seen it happen, the answer is yes. We think it will get better. And then the question is, how much better will it get? And I don't know the answer. So I'm okay with taking James Cook. It's another similar situation, though. P. Rudini, are we taking Genty or James Cook? They're going at the 111 and the 204. Like, why? Real question. You being in a TikTok chat going back and forth does not help your league at all. So, like, we get these top 24 guys into a pretty good order. If you like this other one more than the other guy, fine. But it doesn't help you at all. Like, do more of round like 6, 7, 8, 9, and really coming up with the same level of analysis that you've given for Genty for these other rounds. And that's what will win you your league. Knowing who's better between Genty or James Cook just doesn't help you at all. Matt, I like to trade Kyler Murray now that he's named the starter for a running back and maybe a pick in Dynasty. Matt, check this out. Oh, I'm on the clock. This would be the final pick. I would not take a defense or a kicker until my last two picks of the draft, which are 15 and 16. Players, I've got like 6 seconds. Who would I take here? No one is jumping out. Omar Cooper, I would take. Just because it's a rookie wide receiver where we could find real upside. Jack, why you play on ESPN over Sleeper? Jack 3. We've got 2 things here. We got Matt's question and Jack 3, and we're going to answer them both in the same way. Matt, we have on our site for Dynasty our trade builder. We have built it out for Dynasty, and we are now adding in redraft leagues on ESPN and on Yahoo. So Jack 3, why did we do a draft on ESPN? So now I have a league to do more development testing with. I don't have any 2026 leagues yet to do testing for our tours, for our tools such as our trade builder. It's going to refresh and grab my roster. We have this here, Matt. You can sync your sleeper leagues, your dynasty leagues, to our site, boombustfantasy.com. Right here, Boombust, same name as we are on TikTok. If you want to trade Kyler Murray away, wait a couple days for some real trades to happen to get like better trade value. The data that we use for trade values is based on actual trades that have happened. So people will be trading Kyler and it'll figure out about what he's worth. And then you can come to our site and just click on Kyler Murray on your team, Matt. It'll pull your dynasty team. You said you wanted to move like Kyler Murray for a running back. So we can just offer up one player. I like to offer up a couple players. So if I said like Kyler Murray and DeAndre Swift, and I just want a running back, the trade has to include a running back. So I've set that, and then it's built trades of multiple different sizes. So Matt, if I wanted Ken Walker for Kyler Murray and DeAndre Swift, my league's a Dynasty Superflex league. That's why Kyler's more valuable. But it builds out the trades for you. So it answers that question, because we would get that question every day. I have these players. Who can I trade them for? This just goes and builds it for you. So give that a check out. I think Jack 3 asked, ESPN instead of Sleeper, which site do you prefer? For running if I'm just doing a redraft league, I probably just do it on ESPN. The tools for Sleeper are better for the draft. The drafting is probably better on Sleeper. The mock drafts are much better on Sleeper. But for doing an actual league, I'll probably use like text messaging for talking to people, or Discord or something. And I just like ESPN. If I'm only in one league, I would prefer it to be an ESPN league. RLB, can you include draft picks for the Dynasty trade? Yeah. Tyler Gossman, can I send a DM of my Dynasty team so we can give you some tips? We have Dynasty team reviews on our site, Tyler, if you're still here. And we'll be on tomorrow. So we do Dynasty team reviews. You can submit that on the site on the team advice page. We go through your team position by position. We talk about where you're strong, where you're weak, and then we pull up the league, your actual league, Tyler, and we look at what sort of trades we would make. And then we come up with a full write-up. Here's what I would do if I was the manager of your league. And then here are real trade offers that I would send out to the actual managers in your league, Tyler. So no, you don't send over a DM of your team. We just submit it on the site. ADN, it's also under power rankings for ESPN leagues. My team's probably terrible. We were talking the whole time. Easton, can you through the teams and talk through them? If I see any winners? Sure. We'll look a little bit. Roster view. Where's Easton? Easton was one of the first ones. Are you here? Caleb Williams, Cook and Amari and Hampton. All right. Ted McMillan and Devontae Adams and Cortland Sutton. We got a lot of old wide receivers here. It's possible that we see a step back from Devontae Adams this year. He put up about 800 yards with double-digit touchdowns last year. Touchdowns aren't sticky. So if we're looking for things to go backwards for Devontae Adams, it would be like touchdowns. And then he's just not as valuable. As a second wide receiver with Cortland Sutton as the other behind Jalen Waddle, I would expect both of these guys, I'm not going to be surprised if both of your wide receivers take a step back compared to what they did last year. You got Montgomery, Gainwell, Monungai. I don't know that we're really ever starting Kenny Gainwell or Monungai this year. And then David Montgomery is probably a fine second running back or flex. I'm not that excited about him this year. Other things here? I don't know where you drafted Caleb Williams, like, to get the value on him. We can go to the pick history, the board, and do it by round view. We can expand this out, but it's going to change the view on the site. Is this the team we were looking at? Caleb Williams in the 8th? I think that's probably fine. I don't know that he's actually going to for sure outscore people like Stafford, which is one of the reasons I don't really like taking quarterbacks in this range. Are Caleb Williams and Trevor Lawrence going to outscore Stafford this year? They didn't last year. We often just get that stuff wrong. So that's one thing I would change is, I mean, I'm going to say this a lot. In a lot of the mock drafts, I probably would have just taken Kyler. I don't like my pick of Jaden Daniels. I would have rather just had Kyler. And then like someone else got Malik Willis, who's probably going to be a fine starter later. Daniel Jones or Baker Mayfield are probably fine starters. Easton, you went rushing value. I don't know that Omarion Hampton is automatically just going to be amazing. Like, we haven't seen him be incredible. He's been very good. We're kind of shooting for something that hasn't happened yet and paying for something that hasn't happened yet. Where I may have gone like a wide receiver here and then looked for a running back elsewhere. But a lot of people went running backs this draft. Aiden, you think you won from the 7th pick, which you never feel like happens? Maybe. 7th pick. I like Amon-Ra. I like Chase Brown there. I like to pick up Malik Neighbors in the 3rd. I really like Kyron in the 4th. I wanted Kyron or Bucky to fall through to me. I would have been fine with Travis Etienne. I don't know if people were listening and then took them. Like someone went Javonte, Judkins, Bucky Irving. I probably wouldn't have taken Bucky Judkins in the 3rd. From pick 7, Carnell Tate has jumped up recently. Maybe that's just on ESPN. Other sites have him later. The consensus ADP I've been looking at has him much later. Fannin in the 6th. I don't know that we're going to see. I just traded Kyle Pitts away in a dynasty. I don't know that we're going to see Harold Fannin repeat what he did last year. It wouldn't surprise me if he didn't repeat. We've seen Kevin Stefanski use tight ends really well. Now he's not the head coach of that team anymore. Someone else came in to do that. So how do we feel? I don't know for sure that it's going to happen. But that, I mean, your tight end, he's probably still usable. Jackson Dart in the 7th. I'm expecting pretty good value from Dart. Wandale, I expect, takes a step back this year. Rachaad White. If I'm drafting Rachaad White, I'd probably take Krosky Merritt as well and just try to find a RB2 out of those guys. Other things to say. I'm trying to find the team again. I wouldn't be surprised if Travis Hunter had value. Same thing with Tank Dell coming back. I don't know that Jaden Higgins has a lock on the 2nd wide receiver role. Tank Dell could come back and take that over. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't think it's that high. And then Kamara, I know he signed a contract took a pay cut to stay on the team. I don't know. I mean, maybe 11th round value for Kamara could end up being all right. That could end up being all right. Maybe that's someone I start grabbing in the 11th round. Last one that we'll look at. Elver, were you number 2, Elver? And then I'm going to go to bed. We said we'd do about 90 minutes and we've been going for over 2 hours. 2 hours, 20 minutes. Elver, which one are you? Are you E on here? E-Trap? No, that was someone we looked at. How do I like the 4th pick? Puka, I don't really want Josh Jacobs. Pooty, are you in here? I don't know which team you have. I know I don't have the best team. Elver with number 2. Jamar Chase. Yeah, I like Chase. Javonte Williams. This feels like early for Javonte Williams. I've typically been seeing Javonte. So we'll say like the running backs are early and out of the range of this is something I don't do a lot. I don't know that you're wrong, Elver. I wouldn't take Javonte Williams in the 2nd. I wouldn't take Judkins in the 3rd. I may have gone Jeremiah Love here at 211. I'm typically seeing Javonte Williams going like right ahead of Kyron Williams in the 4th. And I don't do a lot of, you struggled with running backs all year. Sorry. I mean, you don't have to apologize. It's not a real league. You struggle with running backs all year. I mean, I think we just try to find them later and keep trying to make moves to grab them with trades and things throughout the rest of the year. Where I wouldn't have gone Javonte in the second or Judkins in the third. Bucky in the 411, I like. I like Bucky at the 411. I would have been fine with HN there. Terry McLaurin, I don't particularly like. I like the upside of Brian Thomas, but I like pairing upside with a player like Brian Thomas. I like grabbing Brian Thomas in a situation where I have a rock solid second option and I can get away without using him. So maybe Terry McLaurin is that guy for you. Maybe Terry is that guy for you. Gator Kev, I see you. We'll jump to you. Other things, I mean, I guess I like Bo Nix in the 7th. I like Jake Ferguson in the 8th. And I like Stephon Diggs at 10. And I like grabbing Jordan Mason. Like Jordan Mason is someone I would be looking to spend a later pick on. And then I'll add, like, I don't know that I'm ever going to draft Dylan Sampson because I just don't know that he's ever going to do anything. Gator Kev, do you prefer fab or continuous rollover for waivers? I do fab. If I'm doing a league, it would always be free agent budget. Our Shasty Dynasty, we have Jonathan Taylor and about to trade for Javonte. Good or no? Our Shazy, we do our trades for Dynasty through the site. It's listed right there. And we'll be live again tomorrow. If you submit those on the site, it pulls up. We've got some that will swing over into tomorrow. All right, let's wrap it up there. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30. We'll do a couple more mocks. Those were fun. We'll probably do them on Sleeper. We had this one on ESPN, so now we have a league on ESPN. We'll probably delete this league within the first couple weeks of the season. Ross's Rowdy team proposed a trade to you. I'm just going to hit accept so that we can have this for testing the rest of the site out. Thank you guys for being with us. We will be back tomorrow. Goodbye.